I have something I'm really not proud of, and I really have to confess my sins about it. It all started this past Thursday. Your boy journeyed out to his local AMC to watch Captain America: Brave New World. He got all dappered up, put on his fanciest fit, did his hair all good with a sea salt spray, got the blow dryer out just to throw on a beanie cause, well, it's cold down here in South Texas. I got my popcorn, my Sour Patch Kids, and a large cherry Coke like a true player. Got my commemorative SHIELD keychain, sat my fat ass down in the IMAX, and surprising enough, there was no previews before my showing. I was really excited to see the Fantastic Four trailer and the Superman trailer in IMAX, but legit, the lights dimmed down in the IMAX, and the IMAX countdown immediately started. And when it hit 4, a Fantastic Four ad, I think, played briefly, which was very odd. Maybe someone was drunk or high, crossfaded perhaps, but I saw the movie, and when it was done, I did not wait for the post-credit scene because, well, I saw it on Twitter and it was ass butter, and I'm very glad I didn't wait for that. But as I left, I had a piece of popcorn fall out of my jacket on top of the shoulder of a woman in the row in front of me. Now, I didn't think she noticed. I'm not sure if anyone else noticed, but suffice to say, I got the fuck out of there, because how do you even broach that topic? Now, I'm sure that lady is watching this right now because of all the support my local community shows me. So, ma'am, I apologize for my sins. But apart from that, the movie was alright. Now, it's not a good movie, but it's also not very bad of a movie either. I'd say most of the reviews are fairly decent, fairly accurate, except the B- on the cinema score. This movie is way better than Quantumania.
Y'all don't really know about shit.
But again, that's not saying much. I had such low expectations for this movie, well, with all they had going on behind the scenes with reshoots and the budget, and they only said they did one round of reshoots, which is normal, which if that's the case, that's extremely concerning with what the final product ended up being. So essentially, the plot and story is Ross is trying to get a peace treaty passed through so that adamantium that gets mined from Tiamut can be mined peacefully. But the leader is orchestrating a whole plan from prison to foil that, and the leader has been trying to keep Ross alive with these pills. They've been secretly infusing his blood with gamma radiation, and this is to show the world that he is the same monster he's been chasing for years because of his disfigurement, and to get Sam killed along the way. Throughout that plan, he gets Isaiah Bradley and other agents from around the world to attempt to assassinate the president via some weird flashing light hypnosis. Bradley then dips from the White House, and we get a whole lot of old man running, which they shouldn't have had Carl Lumbly doing all that running, man. It was on some Irishman type shit, but I think they really executed that scene well, and the motivation for Sam, because he cares about Isaiah very deeply and his story about being wrongfully imprisoned for so long. So to see him being thrown back in prison is just infuriating. So Sam starts to unravel this plot with the help of Joaquin Torres, and with next to no help from this Ruth lady, which had no place in this movie at all to get Isaiah out. Now, my homie Oscar actually pointed this out to me, but it is essentially like a shittier version of the plot from Civil War, where Zemo orchestrates this rift between the Avengers, but instead, most of the stuff the leader does isn't as well executed, and you don't really care about it. Like, I feel like with Zemo, it worked so well because we saw his disdain for the Avengers and could even understand where he was coming from, and he had a pretty brilliant plan, and all these different events and all these things that he orchestrated, this friction came together very organically, whereas with the leader, we just are barely catching up on him, and we don't really care about his motivation or his suffering or his disfigurement in captivity. Also, this look change was very dumb in my opinion, and all that is not because of Blake T. Nelson. That's rewrite, reshoot bullshit, I'd imagine. Also, again, this Ruth lady just did not belong in the movie. I normally have no issue with moments of levity, but there is a Bucky cameo where we find out he's, I believe, running for office, or he's like already a politician, which is super crazy, but he's there to give a speech to Sam to kind of uplift him after, you know, the series of events that had occurred, to let him know he made the right decision to not take the serum. But then they undercut that pretty big time by essentially leaving in an outtake, and then this chick comes through talking about Bucky and basically how she would still do tricks on it, all while Joaquin is dying. It's like, pick one or the other. I feel like they really could have pressed the issue that Ross hated the Hulk and gone even just a smidge deeper on him seeing the Hulk as a monster, one that took away his daughter from him, and that would have made the transformation even better in my opinion. Is like the disdain he'd have for himself becoming the monster that he's hated for so so long, or having some newfound understanding for Bruce Banner's plight by the end of it, but we don't really spend any time on that. And even with brief glimpses of depth, it was all too close to surface level in my opinion. A lot of the movie feels like what I was worried about it feeling like, and just a stepping stone for the MCU. Just honestly to remind people that the Incredible Hulk happened, to address Tiamut, to set up Serpent Society and Adamantium, and that's pretty much it. And I wish it would have focused more on Sam and Joaquin. Now, I will say there is a reason why people are so mixed about this movie, and that is because the main characters we focus on are pretty damn good. Anthony Mackie is actually a great Captain America, and Danny Ramirez is a great Falcon. Even though I still think that it's so damn stupid why Sam didn't take the serum, I love the angle of an everyman Cap, because Steve Rogers is something almost like akin to Superman, where it's something to look up to, but not really plausible to get to as like a normal human being, whereas, you know, Sam is flesh and blood and, you know, normal. You could realistically get to where Sam is at, you know, even the shirtless scene, although Mackie probably was like, we need to cover the lower belly here, but he was in great shape for a nearly 50-year-old man. That was a realistic physique for somebody that takes care of themselves, that with enough work, people can realistically get to, and reinforces that everyman Cap. Not only is that a bit more endearing, but that also drastically raises stakes, especially when Red Hulk comes out for the 5 minutes he does come out. And they were a very cool 5 minutes. And it's like, you know, Sam's gonna win, but you're on the edge of your seat like, yo, how is he even supposed to deal with this? Thank God for Vibranium. Even though I have some issues with the last sequence, I fuck with the appealing to Red Hulk's humanity very heavy. And that's what I really like about Sam's Cap, is that he is always trying to reach people at a human level. Even with Ross, he was like, you know, what's going on with you, man? Like, why are you acting like this? And that's when he reveals his heart condition. Like, I really like that Captain America is that type of guy to do that, to try and meet you where you're at. Danny was funny as hell throughout the whole movie, even if he was going a little too hard on Isaiah, but damn, when he said he'd make the text bigger on his phone, that got me and my whole theater. When he was in the hospital, I was worried they were going to use this against Sam some way and experiment on Joaquin to turn him into that bullshit hybrid bird from the comics, which I really have never liked. We already have a Mexican werewolf. We got Namor, kind of, you know, who is a mutant. We got maybe Robbie Reyes coming back. I just want a regular swagged out live action Mexican hero, and Danny as Joaquin is perfect for that. You know, you don't have to make him some weird hybrid experiment. I do like that he looked up to Sam, but damn, bro, I almost cracked up when he said, I always wanted to be the Falcon growing up. Come on, you're telling me you didn't want to be Thor or Iron Man? But I did feel their chemistry, and I loved what Sam said about having to always be on point. And they had a lot of very beautiful human moments in this movie, especially when the first thing Sam does after fighting the damn Red Hulk is beeline to go free Isaiah. I absolutely love that. I also love their spot. It just seemed like a super chill, badass place to be. The action was pretty solid throughout, and despite some really shitty shots, there was actually some genuinely good ones. I think ultimately this was a very mid movie with a whole lot of heart, with solid performances by likable characters and decent entertainment value that just got chopped the hell up and lost its focus, which makes me so curious what it could have been, because I feel like there was a genuinely good movie in there somewhere. I actually feel like I would want to rewatch this movie on Disney Plus once it drops. Like, I do have a compulsion to, and I feel like if this movie was a Disney Plus special, it might have been received a lot better, but ultimately I would have to give Captain America Brave New World a fluctuating 6 to 6.5 out of 10. Majority enjoyable, but too much bad to pass for solid. They're saying the movie wasn't reshot or rewritten that much. They're saying the budget wasn't really 300 million and instead 180 million. They're saying the movie was really that bad, while others are saying it wasn't that bad. Well, you know what I say?
Y'all don't really know about shit. Y'all really ain't know about shit.